Yes, hello and welcome to the August 2017 webinar with Greg Payton from Dawes Arboretum and Havard from IrisBG. We have started a bit late, waiting for a few people to join us and some audio problems, but here we are. And the topic today will be we'll talk a bit more about report design, customizing reports, and also labels, and then we'll take some questions and answers or questions and see if we can get some answers to that, and then maybe also one tip. We had discussion about some ArcGIS maps as well, so we'll do that, and then if anybody have any extra questions, please send them in while we go through this. And I might also look at I know there was hold on, oops, that was very strange. That came, sorry. All the way up there. I just wanted to say there were some questions on the forum recently, which see if there was anything of relevance that might be worth discussing a bit more. But other than that, we'll get started, and I wonder if I should just do the ArcGIS thing first, because it sort of doesn't take too long.
Okay, yeah, so need to get that out of the way.
Yeah. So Greg has they've just updated their maps here in at the Dawes Arboretum, and we've pushed that out onto the browser, onto the server, so he can then use that in Iris and also on their website, on the Garden Explorer. And we're talking about the difficulties of creating smooth circles like this in ArcGIS. This is not directly Iris questions, but obviously for those of you who want to make their own maps, these are the kind of things. Some of you have to sort of do that, draw your maps yourself. And one thing we discussed was a tip of making these lines, these curves, a bit smoother. So I'm going to show you that quickly by bringing up. I have a map here that I'm just playing with. If I wanted to now create, I'm editing this particular layer here, and then I wanted to create, let's say, a pond or something. And then you try to make a nice curve like this.
And you get tired, at the end and skip.
Exactly. And then you want to go and have lunch, and you think, okay. And you see this doesn't look really nice. It's sort of very raggedy, especially if you zoom in, it becomes even worse. One thing then is to first switch on what is called the advanced editing tool. And then you have something called smooth, which will then straighten the edges. That might be really nice. If you had another challenge let's do that first, and I'll show you. And what I often do is just to use the offset very low, like 0.01, and then you get really quite nice curves. So you see this looks like a more natural pond than the previous example.
Right.
Now, if you have
I do something, I was just going to add, I do something, but I take my Trimble unit out and GPS it by walking the edges, but still it in general takes about a 1 meter path for each vertex. So this would still smooth out even that single meter gap to make it look more smooth.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you want to combine smooth and hard edges that you often have, like if you go back to this map here, you have a hard line here and a hard line here, etc. Then what you could do is you can combine that by doing rectangles. If I wanted to, hold on, I'm starting again. Let's say I wanted to have a hard line here. I can then just put oops, wasn't a very good example. Well, you get the point. So you can then merge. If I now do editor, I can then merge them. So you get a combined hard and smooth, and you can split them as well. So I could do this one where I put like that one, and then editor. So if I now clip what did I do? Yeah, now if I delete this one, you will see I got a nice little thing there.
But you be careful with the clips, because if there's any layers underneath of it, it can also clip those out.
Yeah, exactly.
That are able to be edited.
Yep.
So sometimes it's good to turn off all the other backgrounds that you don't need when you're working on something like that.
Yeah. Or in general, be careful. That's
yeah.
Okay.
Say no, don't say.
So that's a tip to make the curves in the map smoother. Yeah. Okay. Just a slightly sort of semi-related Iris topic. Okay. Let's move away from ArcGIS again. And while we're at ArcGIS, I wanted to also mention that, as some of you know, we have a plugin. If you go to our download page, I'm going to just an update on that. On our download page here, you have software tools and templates. You have the Iris S3 ArcGIS sync. So that is it's been around for a few years. It's quite rudimentary. We've just got a signal that 96% sure that we'll get started and improve that so that it will have some more capabilities. We'll announce something. Probably next webinar, we'll talk a bit more about what the plans are. But we got some clear signs that this, we got some funding for that and the collaboration with Brian from Esri. So that will probably start in fall, and things will happen hopefully at some point this year. So I'll keep you posted on that. But that will give you more power and hopefully also round trip so that you can push data out to ArcGIS and then push data back in. Mm-hmm. So that's something that might be cool for those who are looking for that. Okay. Then the other thing we wanted to talk about was the reporting. Yeah. So two things. First, let's do the basics, I suppose. Customizing reports in general. I'm now running the trial version here, and you know that we have all the different reports available here. And then if you wanted to, create, when I run this report, I'm just going to do a very sort of basic report here, do all the rhododendrons. So I'll get a spreadsheet coming up somewhere here on the other screen. And then a typical scenario is that you want to create a new report with maybe some other columns, or you want to change this one to remove a few columns, whatever you want. To do that, you will go into definitions, report types, find the report that you want to change, and then you here will select the fields. So this one includes all the fields that will come out to the report, and those are the fields that you can select from. So if I didn't want all these infra-specific fields, for example, I can then just double-click on it, and they will go out of the list like that. And then if I wanted to add something from this one, let's say I wanted to do hardiness, I can add that, and that will then come wherever my marker was, and then I can move that up and down. So if I wanted the order slightly, not order, but I mean where the field is listed in the spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm. Which column it then represents.
Yeah, exactly. And then if I wanted to create a new report based on the same data set, but just let's say I wanted one that just had accession number and taxon name, then I just click the green plus button up here, and then say give it a name, item. So you first select the base report. So what's the sort of the source data set you're going to work on, and then we'll call it something like I'm just going to small basic report, and then you start picking the fields you want. So in this case, we just want, so some of these fields might be a bit cryptic. So if you're unsure, just add them to it and run the report, and then you understand often based on the output what the field is.
Yeah, I've done that. I've started by adding all fields to a report, and then view the spreadsheet, and then take the columns off that I don't want, and then what's left I can base my report on.
Yeah, exactly. So here typically you wonder, oh, should I have taxon name or taxon name full? I can tell you that full is with the author. So, but anyway, if you are uncertain, you will just put both of them in and then run it and see what you get, and then so we probably need location here, item location name, for example. Very basic small report. Here we go. So now if I go back to reports, I can then do that. You see now it's listed here, and then no, I want to taxon rhododendron, and we get a report with those columns. Okay. Okay. You had something on your mind.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, if you wanted to merge that into a Word document.
Yeah. So you want what are you saying? We want to just create a new
report based on those fields to merge into a Word document. Say you wanted to print pages for a book or something like that, or a report to turn into the boss about the plants accessioned in the past month or something.
Yep. So here we go. Here's a new blank document. What are we going to? We're just going to have a report. We're going to have taxon name, accession number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe just do it like this. I'm going to insert.
Well, I will tell you what I do typically. First of all, is I take your spreadsheet that you just merged, and then I save it to someplace like my desktop. And then when I go into mailings, which you will do here, so view that, yep, and then save it someplace you can find it.
I just want to hold on. I'm just going to see what's Oh, I save as, obviously. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, documents.
You're off the screen now, but
yeah, I'm just a new folder. Basic report example. Sorry. Here we go.
Yeah.
Now I've saved this.
It doesn't have to, stay linked to it, but this is just a good starting point where you can pick your merge fields from.
Yeah. So then I'll get back to my report here, and then I want to have. I just made a table here. This is just not a very good example, maybe, but and then I can put the merge field in here.
Right. So you go to mailings. First, select recipients, or actually start mail merge, I guess, and the current letter directory, I guess, would work. And then select recipients. Use an existing list.
Yeah.
Pick the one you just saved.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Documents. Webinar. Here we go.
Okay. And okay. And then you can, in that field, you can say insert merge field over to your right. There you go. And say you want that one. That's in there. And then do what you want. Yep. There you go. You can make it as fancy as you want. And if you want to get really fancy, you can Google. There's all different sorts of tips and tricks you can do with these merge fields. How you can use rules and use, I mean, only print this if this condition is true, or add this after it and before it. And yeah, if you edit the field, you'll see a few things there. You can add text to be inserted, before. But say, for example, you're printing labels and you want it to have like, originally from in front of the word, but if the field is blank, you don't want that text to be there because there's nothing there. So this is where you would put that. So it only prints it before the actual text is printed.
Yep.
If it occurs. So yeah, not in the Norwegian.
But yeah, this will only be inserted if you say, let's say you wanted to have it with like 2 brackets like that, and then 2 brackets like that afterwards. They will only come if the field has a value.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like for me, we have a metal tag embosser, and I have it set up to actually print from Word. But you're supposed to open and close each label with one of those, the less than and a greater than to close the text. So for the first field, I have it put the less than symbol, and the last field it puts the greater than symbol at the end, so that text only occurs in ones where there's actually labels to be printed.
Yep. Yep.
But there's lots of examples of that.
We should, maybe we should, well, this is a very rudimentary example with 3 fields only, but I suppose it does cover the basics.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do OK on that, and then I'll delete those 2 rows. Do we need to put in a sort of new record kind of thing, or isn't that necessary? I was suddenly wondering.
Well, if you do the directory, it should do it automatically as long as you have the space after there like that.
Okay.
A directory is supposed to automatically, continue without creating a new page each time.
So now I'm gonna I'm gonna save it. Hold on. I'm just gonna put it on where am I? I'll just put it in the same place here. Where was it? Save as documents, webinar.
Yeah, and something else. Once you have that document set up, you don't have to save that spreadsheet first. You basically just select that with your new text, and it merges it right in. So that spreadsheet that was first saved was only for the setup of this particular document.
Yeah. So now we have basic report here saved, and what we can do now, I suppose we can go back to. So shall we make a new report, or shall we just use the same one and make it into a Word report instead? What do you think?
Yeah, just add the document to that same one you just created in reports, the basic report. So
we can go here and say, well, first we need to go in. Should we add the template first? Yeah,
under template file, just put the name of your report in.
So this is
I'm sorry. Yeah, you need to add it to custom templates. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so this is for those of you who used Iris for a bit. In the old days, you need to put all your templates in a folder on the computer. So from version 3.62, which came out in December, I think, 2016, you can add the labels templates here instead. So that is then rolled out to every user straight away. So that makes a big difference. Mm-hmm. So then basically come and pick your sort of documents, and then webinars here. So I'm going to basic report.
And what that does is that saves the report.
Oh, I think my trial version is a bit temperamental. There's a test thing going on here. Hold on. I'm going to.
Just because the document was still open, maybe?
Let's see. Hold on. I just need to. Oh yeah, it's used by another process. Sorry. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna. You didn't like that. I need to close it completely.
That's what I was thinking.
Smart man. Yeah. Let's see. Close.
This has been very helpful for us because we have dozens of different users, and trying to keep all the same reports on different PCs was a nightmare. So this way the report is actually stored inside of the database, so it's accessible to all users with the same exact report.
Yep. So now we got it here, and then I go back to the report types here, and then I go down here and say template file.
Yep.
Basic report.
Stop.
DOCX, and that's very important. Sometimes it's a DOCX. Some older documents might be just DOC. So make sure you are, make sure you make it right. Yep. Yeah. And then the data file could be like that.
It doesn't really matter what it is.
Yeah. So now, if we go back to our report again, hold on, reports, accessions, basic report, and then we're going to do, no, I always do that. I want Genius.
RHOD.
And then,
or you pick something else this time.
No, well, if I do, I'm sure I take something that will not create any data. So.
And this will actually start Word and merge the data into it. And if you were to pick a different genus or some other, there you go.
There we go, yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Since we are on this topic, do you have anything to add, by the way, Greg, to what we did here?
Only that if I think I've posted a few examples of some of my reports, either in the blog or someplace. There was someplace we had some reports posted that I had shared.
Yep.
But yeah, but I mean, you're more than welcome to ask me to send you if I have a report that is for a particular purpose, like for my label embosser or the CO2 laser engraver, the ones where I do 2x4-inch labels. I have those all merged into grids. So if anybody needs examples, we can share. It should be a community effort.
Yeah, I managed to dig up one example here from the good old days. I'll bring that up. And that's something, I think it's
yeah.
I'm not sure if it's, that's where we
that's not quite sized right.
Well, it doesn't matter. Well, the point, two things here. It was designed for a graviograph label, which a lot of, if I go back a couple of years, there was the assumption that graviograph only worked with their own software, but
right.
it will work with Word in most cases, provided there was you mentioned about that, Greg. What was that again? The special driver that you needed.
Yeah, if you buy a graviograph laser engraver, they typically sell you some software to go with it and some sort of a weird dongle you have to put in your computer to access it. But if you just email your tech rep, and they will send you a Windows Windows driver, and you can install it just like your HP or your like in whatever brand printer that prints paper. And then set it up and select it from Word to print to that laser, and it'll send that document right to the laser. And I've done similar with the embosser, except if you read the instructions, you set it up as a Windows text driver, and you have to set your margins to a particular size for it to come out right. But anybody needs help with that, I'm willing to help.
If you go to our forum and search for embosser, I think you will find that particular discussion, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here we go.
Okay. There it is.
So that's the full metal, no, full story.
The full metal jacket, yeah.
Okay, become like an association. Okay, let's. So what I wanted to show here, in addition to the graviograph question, was the this particular field here, which is unique to labels. And good news, it will also appear on the reports in the next release for those of you who want to run reports. And what is this particular field? Well, I'll show you. That's probably easier to show you than to talk about it. So I'm going to close that one, and then I'm going to make a new label type here. So I'm going to go to label types, and we have planting here, and then we're going to make one oops. It's almost tempting to just take an existing one. No, we'll make a new one.
Yeah, you just hit the...
And then call it G1. G. Graph. Yeah. Fields. I don't do anything. I'll get all of them, don't I?
Yep.
So I'll just do that just for the sake of it. So I'm now just saving this for the time being. I'm going to add that new template that I showed you with the GraviGraph template. So that's this one. And you see, this is a DOC because I made it a while back. So
the older version.
So I'm just going to save that. I'm just going to copy that name so I don't have to type it.
I was going to suggest that. I often do that. Just copy and paste it.
Yeah.
I can't spell worth it. Yeah.
Your dyslexic behavior will be spread all over. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So here we go. Where did my GraviGraph thing go? G here. So then I get a template file here. Put it in there. Yeah.
Yep. Save.
So now I'm sort of done in theory. I can now test it by going to item management and then run, let's say, we just take any type of label, let's sort of say, so I'm just going to bring up some labels that are missing. Hopefully I get a few. No data, that was not a good idea. So I'm just going to do bedding or something. Oh, this is not getting medium size.
Well, maybe just say ones that are okay then.
Yeah. Okay, 30 labels. Great. So I've searched for anyone with missing label M1, but I can still create different types of labels. So I'm going to create the new label we made, GraviGraph label, and then I'm going to create view. And then hopefully magic will occur. Yeah, here we go. So now this explains quickly the whole story about the taxon name tagged. And what that will do for you, it will put squirrely braces around anything that should be italicized. And why on earth do you need that? Well, sometimes if you want to print it nicely, there's no examples here with the var. That's when it becomes relevant, isn't it? When you have a
yeah, or a cultivar name or something like that.
Yeah, hold on. We're going to make this example a bit better.
Add one. Yeah.
Yeah, or just clear and then something like that.
Right.
And then state is not okay, just to see if I get anything. No, okay. I'm just going to... Okay, now I've got 15. Good. Sorry. When you then print these labels, you will see that the infra-specific labels shouldn't be italicized, but the other parts of the name should be italicized.
And if there's any with cultivars, scroll down to see if there were any with cultivars. The cultivars would be skipped as well.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we didn't have one, but that was a shame. Okay, well, certainly.
Well, the idea is still there. If there's a cultivar, it will be left unbracketed. Yeah.
So then the final touch is to run this particular IrisBG tool thing here, and then it will fix it for you. So you get the correct italicization, if that's a word. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this particular capability will also, this field, merge field, will be available in some of the reports as well now. So if you want to run a beautiful report with names listed in a sort of sweet manner, then you can do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Okay. But I think you have probably an example of that one as well here on the form, don't you?
probably. And all you folks watching, I can admit, when we post those things, Havard writes the question as if it was me and then answers it from my answer. So it's funny.
Well, hey, you've been involved, yeah.
Okay, there I was involved, yeah.
Well, that was how we had to operate in the beginning. Nobody dared to put anything on the forum, so someone had to do it.
Says Iris user says, "How do I do this?" And then we say, "Well, this is how I do it." But we're answering our own questions.
Maybe it's Taxon name tagged. No. Okay, that particular template wasn't there, but anyway, okay. So that was label design and report design in a short 20 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There was, there is, for those of you who want to study this a bit more, you can go to our website and then under support, video tutorials, and then advanced, there's something called designing plant labels, which also talk a bit about other related stories to label management and designing things. And it talks a bit about NiceLabel as well, as an example of a third-party label software. One thing we could finish off with, just to you can also prepare labels with barcodes. Now, if I wanted to maybe have a barcode up in this left corner, you can do that by using a barcode font. And I wonder if I have one in here already. Yeah, here we go.
There you go.
Both of these two work. So that's the shorter. So it's possible to do that. However, if you want to use barcodes extensively, we recommend that you use something more advanced, some 2D barcodes like data matrix, for example. They're much easier and fault tolerant, but then you need a proper barcode scanner as well.
Well, so, something I can ask is where is that available from, and is that a free product as well?
The data matrix, you mean, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you need to do something. You buy something like NiceLabel. That's so NiceLabel. We have no.
We have to purchase the font. Usually, it's through some other program.
Oh, hello. Sorry, you meant that font? Yeah, that particular font you talked about.
Yeah,
that's free.
Data matrix font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are free.
Yeah, but the data matrix font. How do you produce those?
There is no data matrix font. That's there is. So this is a sort of 1D barcode. They're linear. That's possible with a font, but two-dimensional barcodes are not possible through fonts.
Yeah, and I know some of the what are the larger ones called? There's like
QR
websites that, the QR codes. The websites will produce those or various things like that.
Yeah, they are. So might be. I mean, what we've done. I was going to find the QR code template, so show you what's going on in there. Hold on.
I've looked where you sent it off to a website to have it converted and have it sent back or something, but.
Yeah. So if you look at the QR code here, I'm just going to hold on. I'm just going to bring it into webinar here, and here's one of those that are found under the template. And if you go, there's a hyperlink here. I haven't, it's a while since I studied that. Hold on.
It's under something else. It's under, I think you have to edit it under the merge field or something, or how does that work? I can't remember.
I think you're right.
I had to dig around it to find it. I think it's under mailings. Maybe.
I mean, Yeah, hold on.
I did find it at one point, but
yeah.
But is there something similar where you can send it off to have a the newer style one created as well?
Not for data matrix, as far as I know.
Yeah.
We don't have any. No, there's no. I don't. This is. This is. This will go to Google's service to produce these QR codes.
Right.
I'm sort of. I should be able to. Why am I so?
Well, that's inserting a hyperlink, so.
Yeah, I'm inserting one. So, but anyway.
You have to be sort of in the properties of it or something.
Yeah. Okay. We'll.
It's been a while since he's done it, so we've forgotten.
Yeah. It's well, it's not. I wasn't the guy who did this. I even got this up and running, but.
Okay.
Hold on. Next record. Yeah.
Well, then I've forgotten.
Yeah. Mailings should be here somewhere, but anyway. But my point was that if you go to so NiceLabel, I'm just mentioning this because I know a few people use it and it works. And the nice thing is that the cheapest version isn't very expensive. So if you buy it, you will see that the most rudimentary version can use a spreadsheet as the database to pull data from.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go buy online here now, that can express £230. Still, that's a bit more expensive than what it was. Anyway, that the cheapest one is sufficient. That's the most important part here to note. And then you can design your labels in NiceLabel and have QR code. Now, all kinds of barcodes and so forth, and more precision really on how the labels is designed. Yeah, and might be. I will check about this QR data matrix thing, whether you can do it through the same approach as we've done with QR codes. But QR codes is something that Google supplies here in this context. So. Yeah.
But for any watchers, viewers that weren't part of the previous discussion, the data matrix are much more adaptable. They can tolerate much more in the way of dirt, and they can be smaller size codes, and they're much more of a better code than the old QR code.
Yeah. QR code also has more requirements about white space around it and things like that. So the benefit with QR code is that there are a lot of sort of software. So if you want to have something interactive with visitors, QR codes is a bit more recognized by visitors. And
Yeah, it seems like most of your new boxes, your cardboard boxes that products come in, have their own QR code on them already. So
yeah,
they are much more common these days.
Okay. Anything else we should talk about? I think we've done enough about labels, or what do you think? Or reports and labels?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the basics. I sort of figured out all of mine just by learning these basics and then playing around. But as I said before, I'm willing to share any tips that I've learned with any users if they contact me, and I'm sure likewise you. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you?
Any questions from our one listener that is still there? Is that you, Laura?
No, it's quiet. Okay.
Not so far. Okay.
Well, it's summertime, so we don't blame people for not joining up. This is I don't know, what's the weather like in Ohio? Is it summertime weather, or is it raining? And
it's a typical August weather. Hot and humid with some scattered afternoon thunderstorms. So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm trying to sort of see. I can't sort of think about anything else at the moment. We'll obviously now we're committed to coming up every month, and we'll announce it more again when the next one will be then on the 7th of September. So that's when people are probably well rested from summer holidays and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And I will try to come up with some more subjects myself.
Yeah, we could be a bit more sort of focused next time. I think we'll come up with some. Yeah, we might already have enough. We might be able to show a few things that are coming up in the next release. One thing I will mention that will be available in the next release, which is already worth mentioning, is that's come up a few questions on the forum as well. Is for those of you who use custom attributes, you may have noticed that when you start using them and you thought, oh, that was a bad idea, and then you want to get rid of it, it's a bit of a hassle. So in the next release, you can actually get rid of it. When you delete the custom attributes from the definitions, it will also remove all the data related to it. So basically handle with care, but it's also very nice that you can do that if you want to get rid of it. So that's
right.
Yeah, one little thing that's coming. Great.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah. Laura will be on vacation. Okay, that's. Well, you can always
watch the recording while she's on the beach.
No, you could join us. I think that's what we should encourage.
Sit at the beach and watch the webinar. That's good.
Okay. Well, anyway, thanks very much for joining, and we'll see you in a month's time. The recording will pop up on our YouTube channel in a day or two. So subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to get a notification when these things are available, or you can just click on the page. If you go to the question and answer page here, down here at the link here, you'll get the full playlist of all the webinar recordings.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Great. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Greg.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome.